Bet you thought you'd never see me again. And here we are. On a real note, hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Anira, and this is my YouTube where we talk about video games, tabletop games, and other related content. And today we're going to be talking about blueprints. And this was not my plan. Oh no. Subscribe if you want to see what the actual plan was, because those videos will be coming out next. But I got a lovely little gift of blueprints from my dear friend Steve and fell into a rabbit hole. I was going to try to organize my thoughts into an internet-friendly list, but all of the components rely so heavily on each other, it's really hard to just split off and put it into one category. So we're not going to do that because Blueprints doesn't even do that with its own content for you. So I'll do my best to edit out any major spoilers. There's not going to be anything catastrophic or groundbreaking in this video. I'm just going to talk about some of the parts of it that I like. So how does the game start? Well, your great uncle died, your mom's dead, and your dad's an idiot. So now here you are, trying to figure out how to inherit this house. We're going to use that term loosely here. It's like a castle, but sometimes it's a house. That's why it's blueprints. So in this game, there's story fed to you in a variety of ways. There's a lot of environmental storytelling, which I really appreciate. The rooms all play some part in this. They will have notes, they'll have decorations and other things, which also can contribute into puzzles. The story and the puzzles are very interlinked. The more you understand of the story, the easier some puzzles are, and vice versa. The more you understand the puzzles and all of the components that make it up, the easier the story is to understand, in such a way where even this outfit that I'm wearing in the country that this takes place could be seen as a political statement. And that's just the story that I know, and I'm not even an expert on this story. This is just like the tidbits that I've picked up along the way playing this game, which you're going to play. Threat. Every time I find a piece of story, I want to find out more about the family, minus the dad because he's an idiot, about the employees, about the grounds that this castle even sits on. There's so many different pieces and they all work together and they all make sense. That's the biggest thing to me. All of this story makes sense. If you want a story that makes sense, play this game. There's no justifications, like plot justifications that have to happen for it to make sense. It just does. The political intrigue that exists, it makes sense that there's strain in these countries and why there's strain. There's a whole history. There's a history class if you get that far. That is a spoiler. Oh god. It's a minor one. Quick cat interlude. Hi. So on top of this story, like I mentioned before, there are puzzles. There are lots of different types of puzzles, like simple logic puzzles that you'll find in the parlor room. There are math puzzles that you get later. There are puzzles that you get the pieces and then you have to kind of put them together later. Like, I've read a book, I didn't really understand why I was getting this information, and then later on realized how useful the information actually was, but it took a while to get to that point. For these puzzles, I will make a note that you should use something like my friends use Notion to keep track of everything, because you can link things together in there and have it all compact and in one place. I have a notebook my phone's gallery, and also my phone's notebook. And that is a terrible system of which I am in too deep, and I am trapped within the hell of my own making. Please save me. So, what I will tell you is to be better than me. Use something that keeps your notes together and not spread out over 3 different areas where you have to constantly check every time you run into something that you think you've seen before, to make sure that it's part of whatever you think it is and that it actually makes sense to bring up. Now, some of these puzzles are very dependent on your room drafting. Now, drafting and drawing is different. Drawing is when you get presented your options, drafting is when you pick one. Drafting has fucked me more times than I care to admit. Sometimes it's unexpectedly good. I get something that I didn't realize that I needed, or it was something that I forgot there was a piece of a puzzle in there. I draft it and then realize I'm really close to getting something else that I need, and so it works that way. But other times, I just get absolutely reamed and have no control over the consequences. This system is also very fun, as I have gotten lost in the sauce plenty of times where I stop playing blueprints and I just start playing house builder roguelike to see how far I can get, how many things I can collect, how many shinies can I pick up. And then I get to the end of the day where I have 5 steps left and I'm like, wow, I did nothing. So, you know, that's just something you have to keep track of as well. Just another fun little thing on our list of 100 things, which is why our dad couldn't do it, because the last thing I wanted to mention, and it doesn't really fit nicely into any particular part of this video, is that there are so many times where I'll walk by something and notice something that I didn't before, and it's something maybe I've walked by 100 times. And I realize, oh, this is a piece I'm missing, which can make me feel very silly, but also it's so clever, because going back into the environmental storytelling, back into the puzzles, the environment still makes sense. Even though you get these clues and these hints and everything in them, it still makes sense. So sometimes you have a piece of a puzzle that you don't even realize because it fits so well into the set dressing that you don't think about it until a couple hours later when you realize, wow, I needed this. And I actually needed it right now. And I didn't even know that this is something that I needed right now. So yeah, I had to talk about blueprints right now because I've been enraptured. I'm pretty deep into the story. I have 6 out of and I still have a lot to do. And that's exciting to me. I've technically finished the game. I could quit right now and call it a victory, but I don't want to. I want to see this through. I want to see everything there is to see in this game because it has been so lovingly crafted and put together that I want to see everything it has to offer. And with that, I'll say you should play it. I didn't have any major spoilers in here. There's some. Not major, just some spoilers in general. But there's a lot for you to discover if you want to get in there. And this is the end of the video where I tell you to like the video if you like it or dislike it if you did. Leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Put a little cat emoji if you really enjoyed it. And as always, I must self-plug. I stream on Twitch. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Arizona time. I'm not going to do that conversion for anywhere else. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye. Hi. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello. Don't bite me. That's fucked up. Hello. Okay, we're just gonna. Sarah, don't bite me. That's fucking rude. Hey, hey, hey.